welcome back to another live. I'm coming to you from our house in Gold Coast, and I'm actually coming to you after I've just finished Reformer Pilates again, which was amazing. And I really wanted to talk to you about a topic that I've been speaking to a lot of my clients about lately, and I honestly have been really spending some time really contemplating the whole concept that I want to talk to you about, which is deeply focusing. And I have so many people come to me and say, Kate, how do I deal with the fact that I'm really being unproductive? I'm finding that I'm so busy during my day, but I really get to the end of it and I feel like I haven't really achieved anything. I've just been so busy doing things, but I am feeling like if I kept going like this in 3, 6, 12 months, I'm not going to be anywhere near reaching my goals because I'm just reacting. That's the word they're using, is just I'm reacting to things. And from everything I know and what I've researched, I want to say this. With the attention economy that we live in, I'm seeing this rise of demand of attention and lack of connectivity. And what I mean by that is we have access to technology advances like text messages, apps, the internet. We have access to so many different notifications and really distractions is what I'm referencing. We have the ability to connect with people technically more than ever before. And what we're doing is every single time we hear a beep or a buzzer or we get a notification or we have something pop into our mind, we can action it. And we often do. So we're constantly going, oh, there's a notification. What's that? It could be important. Or what's that? I might need to check that. Oh, what's that? And we're getting distracted because of our environment. And when I say we have the ability to figure something out, what I mean by that is we have access to the internet. So if I think, actually, I've got a question, I might just look up something. It could be a research paper. It could be a study. It could be absolutely anything. I have the ability to stop my concentration and to stop what I'm doing and start to look on the internet to find the answers. Now, what's great about that is we have the ability to do it. But what's bad about that is that means we're actually exercising that impulsive or reactive part of our brain. We're strengthening it. The more that we are saying, what is that notification? Oh, yes, actually, I might quickly look that up. We're actually strengthening that reactive part of our brain. So all of a sudden, we're becoming impulsive beings. We are reacting to most things in our day, and it's stopping us from being able to have that reflective, concentrated executive functioning, to have higher order thinking and better creativity and be able to improve our planning and organization skills. And as a result, be able to actually achieve the goals and the significant advances that we want to have. We're so busy strengthening the muscle of impulsivity and reactivity that we're not strengthening the prefrontal cortex, which is the reflective brain, the higher order thinking and executive functioning. So with all of this increase in attention economy comes emotional intelligence and capability is going down. We're really losing the ability to better lead ourselves, and we're losing the ability to better focus and to think creatively because we're exercising that impulsive side of our brains. And what's happening as well after that is, let's say we get an email or a notification and we go to check it. That instant checking actually produces a dopamine feedback loop, which says, next time you get that notification, do the same thing again. So now we've got this neural transmitter saying, keep doing this distracted work, keep being distracted and keep reacting to things. And it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And by the time we get to the end of the day, we're all extremely fatigued and we've got decision fatigue and information overload. And as a result, we sit down and we start to take actions that aren't in alignment with our goals still. So then we've got this vicious cycle. And this is where people, hopefully you guys can all see me now. It just was pausing then. Anyway, so really what we want to be doing is we want to engage the reflective part of our brain, the bit that actually is going to help us progress our goals and achieve what we want to achieve in our business and life. Sorry, I've just come from Reformer, as I say, and I'm looking a bit dodgy, but anyway, it's not about that. So how do we do that? How do we start to engage the reflective part of our brain? Well, the first thing is environmentally, we really want to set ourselves up for success. So you want to be turning off your notifications. You want to be removing some of the apps that you find yourself on frequently. I know some clients are using TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, and they know that they go on there impulsively. It's almost without even thinking. It's automatic. Scientists call that automaticity. So they're doing it without even thinking. So let's put those apps elsewhere on different, your last screen. So you have to consciously think about doing it, like, oh, it's not there automatically. You don't just see it and flick it. Next minute you spent 5 minutes surfing. Actually try and get rid of those apps and put them somewhere else. So that's the first thing. Environmentally set yourself up for success. Turn off your email notifications and everything. I don't have any email notifications on. My phone's always on silent. As frustrating as it is for my mum or other people, I never answer my phone because I don't hear it. And when I'm doing deep concentrated work, I am putting my phone on flight mode and I'm just fully focusing. And so that's what I really want you to do is audit your environment. What are the things that are causing me to be distracted? Unfortunately, open plan offices are causing a lot of distractions as well, but you can create workarounds and say to people, when my little sign's up, that means I'm doing deep work. We want deep work. We don't want just surface level concentration. We want deep concentration, actual project work, like really trying to achieve the strategic objectives of the organization, or actually really trying to achieve the goals and outcomes that you want from your own business or your own life or your own leadership skills, your own self-leadership and your own projects. So audit your environment and really cleanse it. So what are the things that are causing distractions and what are your workarounds? Find those workarounds. So for me, as I say, it's getting rid of all my notifications. It's making sure that I don't have email dings or app dings. No apps are in my view. I can't see them when I'm going onto my phone. The second thing is in order to engage that reflective part of your brain and really engage that executive functioning is to recognize, have that self-awareness. Oh, there we are. I'm about to be distracted, and to try and pause between stimulus and response. So, for example, let's say you're doing something and you go, oh, actually, I wonder what the research says about that. This is clearly me, everything I do is evidence-based in my coaching. So I'm always going, oh, I wonder if there's any new research, or I wonder if there's a systematic review on this particular thing. Now, I know that I have all the latest research. So what happens is I'll have something pop into my brain that will say, Kate, you should go and have a look to see if there's another systematic review, or just check that reference one more time, or go and have a look at that research paper. And I have to use a lot of affirmations to be like, hey, you have all the evidence you need. Everything is evidence-based that you do not need to keep looking this up. So I have to give myself a little affirmation, but I also pause between the stimulus and response to give myself the time to engage that reflective part of my brain. Do I need to do this? Is this absolutely important? Have I got all the information? Can I move on? Yes. Often it's just about moving on and keeping up that pace and keeping that concentration. When you break that concentration, when you allow yourself to strengthen that reactive part of your brain, that's what continues. So you'll continue reacting. You won't be able to reflectively respond. So we really want to delay that gratification, because remember how I told you about that dopamine feedback loop? That's real. That's like, do it now. Like it's impulsive, you find it taking over yourself. I know that's what happened when I stopped drinking alcohol. Was like, I got, and a trigger came and I was like, found myself just, I could be halfway through the bottle without even kind of realizing, shivers, I'm halfway through this bottle. That's the strength of the impulsive brain. And that's what we're trying to dial down. We're trying to strengthen that prefrontal cortex, that executive functioning. And to do that is engaging in that pausing. So delaying it a little bit just so you can start to reflect and ask yourself some of those questions. Can I afford to wait? Can I press pause on just this idea of going to deep dive and have a look at the research? Yes, you can, Kate. It's fine. It's okay. Move forward. So you can give yourself some positive affirmations. The next thing is you want to give yourself some chunks of time. So clear the desks and give yourself some chunks of time, around 50 or so minutes. And that's where you want to be saying, if I did nothing more but get these things done today, or in this 50 minutes, I'm going to really be able to progress my project, my business, my life, my insert whatever forward. If I did nothing more than this here, that's going to significantly propel me forward. Now, you really want to know where you're going. You want to have some goals for that. And I obviously in my coaching programs talk a lot about identifying sure that the actions that you take today are consistently in alignment with where you're headed so that you become that person. You're not striving for a goal. You're striving to become this identity of somebody who achieves those goals and the further goals. So these are the things you want to be doing. Is if I did nothing more today, if I did nothing more than in this 50 minutes, this thing here that I want to be focusing on, this is going to significant. It always pauses. It's just paused then. I hope it's okay. It was the internet going a bit funny lately. I don't know why it's doing that, but so that's the other thing you want to be doing, is having that concentrative effort. So scan your environment, look for the triggers that are causing you to really use that reflective part of your brain. Have that awareness, like, yeah, things are taking away from me and I'm not being able to achieve the things that I want. You know, blocking out that time, getting rid of your apps, getting rid of your notifications, getting rid of any dings, having the respectful, I'm just off limits for the next 50 minutes while I just concentrate on these things, being crystal clear. If I did nothing more than this is what I really help my clients on. This is what you want to be focusing on. Ignore all that. This is what you focus on right now. So get crystal clear clarity and you get that focus. And then the final thing I want to say is set your weeks up and then ultimately your days up for that success. So weeks, for example, my week's pretty clear about how I'm going to be doing the certain things and when I'm going to be doing them. And I just sort of execute with flexibility that plan. So here's my creation time. Here's my research time. Here's my coaching time. Here's my self-care time. Here's my strategy time. So I've got these this plan. I don't stick regiment. I don't have a regimented, rigid and intense plan. I have a flexible and harmonious existence. And so I've got some broad brush strokes about how I do it, and I follow that. And then each night, which is what I like to do, I do an activity that I've developed called 4 Focus, F-O-U-R, Focus, 4 Focus. So these are the 4 focus activities that I'm going to be doing the next day that will really catapult me, my life, and my business forward. And then I put down the times they're going to take, and then I schedule them into my day. Now, if some are going to be too long, I put them out to the next day. If some are going to be quick, I can add a couple more if I feel that I've got the capacity to do that. And really, I want to be prioritizing them and or doing them in order of which ones are going to get me energized the most. And often it's the hardest one. So it could be making a call that you're nervous about, or it could be putting yourself out there in some way. You know, all my actions align with my values, and one of my values is showing up, you know, so showing up and being courageous and being raw and being authentic. And so acting in alignment with your values is something that people say they do, but most often they're not, because they haven't gone and done that depth work. So I'm going to be talking about that, the values-based living, next week. But what that really means, because, you know, it can be very shallow. Again, that exercise can be a very shallow approach to help people. But the way that I like to do it is just go really under the surface and go. And I've had people go, oh, right. I've never really got it like that. Oh, that makes sense. Wow. Now I know what to do. Like, now I know what decisions to make. Now I know how I can structure my life. Now I know whether or not I could be doing this or I could be doing that. So people can make decisions better. They have crystal clear clarity, and they know how they can say, oh, I'm not really in alignment with my values and my goals here. Wow, okay, so what is it then? And more often than not, we're acting in alignment with some limiting beliefs, or we're acting in alignment with things that are going to hold us back significantly. And that's the stuff that I really work with my clients on concurrently. So anyway, I wanted to bring that to you today because I cannot stop reflecting on it, and I have done a 10-ton of research on it too. And this is just, you know, something that self-leadership requires, is that ability to engage that prefrontal cortex and really dial down the limbic system, which is the reactive system, which is driving us. Unfortunately, it's driving us more and more and more in this information age, in this attention economy. You know, it's everything competing for our attention. We are finding it difficult to connect more and more with us, and to be able to connect more and more with our higher order thinking and be able to achieve these goals. So, you know, I'm all after efficiencies, and I'm after alignment and connection back to self. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here. I love coming to you each week, and I look forward to coming to you next week at the same time. Thank you very much for those that are watching that I can see on here, and I hope my internet was stable enough for you to listen to the whole thing. All right, lots of love. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.